Rolling, rolling on the... The fuck is that? What was that?
Snapchat.
Oh, Jesus. Get that shit out of here. It's bad for your fucking brain.
You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cult of Campbell, or rather, Cult of Campbell versus Ash versus Evil Dead. I am Ian,
I am Ben.
and we are here to talk about Season 1, Episode 8, Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was directed by Tony Tilsey? Tony Tilsey. I don't know how to say that, and it was written by Michael J. Bassett. That one was way easier.
Michael J. Bassett.
It originally aired December 19th, 2015.
19th. All right.
Yeah, so this was a bit of a filler episode, but I think it was a better filler episode than
Sure.
last time. Yeah.
Sure. So, I mean, obviously, you can get filler episodes are not by themselves a bad thing. It just depends on what you do with them. And if you're going to do a filler episode set entirely in like the classic location for which Evil Dead is known, the novelty of that by itself is going to buy you a lot of leeway in a filler episode.
Right, yeah. And then they definitely went above and beyond, I think.
So not only is this a filler episode, but I can honestly say, and boy, this is going to make me sound bad. This is by far my most favorite episode of the entire show.
Is there a particular reason?
There is.
Okay, we'll find out, I'm sure.
There is. Stay tuned.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the Cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
So, all right, we pick up mostly where the last episode, actually, I think exactly where, because it ended on that really beautiful, like, sunlit shot of the classic cabin.
Yep, and on this one, it opens up to Ash walking through the woods onto it and discovering a dead bird.
Yeah, he walks up to the dead bird. He sees the cabin. It's lit the same way. There's some dramatic music playing, kind of, this is the first time he's been back to the cabin. And he picks up the dead bird. And he says, "Sorry, Tweety.
Nothing lives here."
Yeah, nothing lives here. And then,
or everything dies here. I can't remember what.
Something
like that.
But then it turns out to be a dead-eyed bird.
Dead-eyed bird.
He fucking wings it against a tree and splatters it.
It explodes.
It's disgusting. It's fucking hilarious. God damn it. I laughed so hard watching that. So the dramatic music never cuts. So then he goes back to walking dramatically up to the cabin.
And it does this nice little it shows us like, hey, we've taken the time and the energy to make sure that everything's here. You've got the girlfriend's grave with the cross.
Yep.
You've got the swinging fence.
Yeah, the chair hitting the wall, the bench.
Or not the swinging fence, the swinging swing.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
So the swing is moving. Everything is as you remember it. Nothing has changed since the last time he was here.
Yes. So they did an excellent job with the sets. It is like, I didn't see a direct comparison. Obviously, we didn't watch these things side by side, but like it's pretty much exactly like they were in the first two Evil Dead movies. Like all the locations.
And in my opinion, you can definitely see where the money went. This is
the
graphics are better, the color is sharper. Like they this setting is definitely where most of their budget probably went.
Yeah, as well as should. Like,
I think so.
They definitely did right by recreating the old Evil Dead set.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you fuck this set up, you're in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
So he's walking through and he sees all the different things and
he's walking through. It's a nostalgia trip. And then Amanda shows up, which I distinctly remember at the end of the episode, they didn't know how to get to the cabin. They were like, "Where's this cabin?" And then Ash was gone.
And she was still standing there, so I have no idea how she followed him because she was
right. Yeah. So, but regardless, they somehow caught up. So they split up, and Amanda found him. And then Kelly and Pablo don't do a lot in the episode. They're walking through the woods and they meet 3 Australian hikers, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, and they have a misunderstanding about the firearms, and then they give them directions to get them to the place, and then that's pretty much it.
And the blonde one likes Pablo.
Even though, Pablo has no idea because
he's simping hard for Kelly. Although I will say the blonde Australian chick is Samara Weaving, and like she's my celebrity crush. I like Samara Weaving. I mentioned in the watch along, she's in Ready or Not, which is a really good movie. I really like that movie.
So,
and she's Hugo Weaving's daughter, which is
an interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew before I knew she was his daughter. I don't know if I knew Hugo Weaving was Australian.
I mean, yeah, he seems like he definitely seems like he should be a UKer.
That's I think what I always thought, but it's just because he does voices in movies and stuff. I don't know if he's ever done an Australian accent in a movie that I've seen.
I know. Can you imagine like Agent Smith with an Australian accent?
You're the one, Neo.
Yeah, like Mr. Anderson. We've been watching you for quite some time.
Mr. Anderson, you're the one. I'm here to kill you because you're going to fucking destroy the computer that I live in.
Yeah.
All right, that's
we're gonna get barbecued for that one.
That's a tangent. I don't know if we have any Australian listeners yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say sorry for that one.
Yeah, we know that is not how you guys sound.
Crikey, Crocodile Dundee. All right, so cockatoo, kangaroo, barbecue. I gotta stop.
I'll throw them a bone. So apparently, like the whole shrimp on the Barbie thing is not like they very rarely barbecue shrimp, and when they do, they're called prawns. It's much. If we were going to do it more accurate, it'd be like throw another sausage on the Barbie.
Yeah, sausage on the Barbie
doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
Moving on. Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yes. Christ. All right. So anyway, there's a whole B plot that we cut back to sometime, but mostly we're at the cabin with
it's Amanda. Purely it's a non sequitur. There's absolutely no reason for that to be in there other than to remind us those characters are there.
Right.
Which is fine. Sometimes you have to do that.
And those Australian characters come back, so it set them up, but it wasn't the show didn't show much of it because we didn't need to see much.
Yeah, it was like, guys, we're not overly explaining this.
Right, yeah.
Although I wonder why they picked Australian.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little random that they're just in the middle of the woods, and is it Tennessee where this is set? Or no, it's set in Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a little random, but that's fine.
I mean,
this whole show is
I mean, they're tourists. I get it, but I just wonder why Australian.
Right. It's like go to Yosemite. That's a lot better. But anyway,
we need to stop talking about Australia. This place like apparently sucks us in.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's gonna be like a 50-minute fucking episode talking about a 20-minute show. So anyway, so Ash and Amanda meet up, and he tells her to stay in the cabin because he's gonna go get something out of the work shed.
Yeah, a crowbar. Because they gotta pry the chain off the door,
right,
to the basement, and he wants her to stay in the cabin and watch over the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
He also explains like it's also because there's a piece of my ex-girlfriend still in there, and you just don't want no part of that.
Right. Yeah. He said, and then he explains the whole process of how he fucking killed her.
Well, yeah, he explains almost the whole weekend.
Yeah, had a hell of a bod though. Banging bod or whatever he said.
Yeah.
So he goes out to the work shed to get the crowbar, and the door slams shut. He sees her skull in the vice still.
Right. Gets the crowbar.
Yep, gets the crowbar. And then it continues to cut back and forth between Ash and Amanda. But basically what happens with Ash is he's trying to break his way out of the work shed, and he keeps talking to her head. And she's taunting him and stuff, as Deadites are known to do.
And when he was out in the shed, we saw that the hand was crawling through the walls, and it was growing another Ash.
Yeah, and like a gross eye popped up at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, everything. Really, what happens to Ash in the work shed is just him trying to get out, and then those saw blades start flying at him.
Yeah, his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend shit talking him.
Right, which sounds really underwhelming, but they obviously did it very well.
Yeah, it feels very much like Evil Dead 2. That kind of descent into madness, like things are overtly crazy because things are just going to be overtly crazy.
Right, like you're talking to your girlfriend's severed head. It's going to get weird. So inside the cabin, Ash shows up. And we know that this isn't Ash because last we saw him, he was still stuck in the work shed. So he shows up and then he starts flirting hard with Amanda, and he's like, let's just get out of here. Like, it's easier to run and blah, blah, blah. And of course,
and she's,
as usual,
she's just like turning into like melted butter over this.
Has her in the palm of his hand.
Which is an ironic turn of phrase.
Right. Because at one point they actually kiss.
Yep.
And then she realizes that he has his severed hand back and it's all disgusting and rotted looking.
Yep.
And then it comes out that this is not the real Ash. This is the Ash that grew out of the severed hand. So
they start to fight.
Yep, they start fighting, which they're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the choreography was pretty good. It was like it was a brutal brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't very refined.
Yeah, exactly. And she gets a butcher knife, and in the process, she ends up re-severing his hand.
And then she just segments that motherfucker on out.
Dices it up.
Which I don't know. You know what? I don't know how I feel about that. So the hand has been a character in the Evil Dead series for a while. And I'm assuming that's that thing's final hurrah, that it's dead now. Like
that I remember.
The hand.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about her getting that kill.
Well,
I don't know. It should be, I feel like if that thing is finally gone, I feel like it should have been Ash.
Yeah, that probably would have fit more.
But it would have fit more, but also it doesn't bother me that much because one of the ways I'm kind of okay with a new character pulling off something major is if they do it and then immediately pay for it.
Which happens because his stump is bleeding and he's like, oh, I'm all better. Like, you got it. Good job. And then
she takes that. It was a cleaver, wasn't it?
Yeah, a big cleaver.
Yep. She takes that motherfucker right to the shoulder.
Yeah.
Shoulder side of the neck.
Yeah, because he kind of has her. She's like not sure. And then he's like, good thing I still have my other hand. And he gets it away from her and boom, right between the neck and the shoulder.
Chops down hard.
Yep. And then she's bleeding bad. And then he gets the upper hand, pun intended, and slams her down on the mounted deer head.
Yep.
And impales her on
just like her partner was.
Ooh. It was fucking brutal.
It was. And I loved every minute of it.
Because you fucking hate that character.
I do. And I will pay a compliment before I shit that she did the death scene very well. It was a very good, like, you felt that this character was dying. She portrayed it very well. She didn't like put on this super brave face where it's like, I'm not afraid of death. So it's not I hate the character and it's not the actress's fault. I think she has done fine.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just like when
you don't like the way she's written.
Right. Like when that Ash is like, let's just leave and let's just run away. Like, even though through the rest of the series, we've seen her just be like a stickler, like, I'm going to end this. I'm going to take it down.
Right.
She starts to like melt with minimal resistance. She's like, no, we can't. We shouldn't.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like,
there's a weird character turn. It was like, no, you would be like, no, we have to see it.
Yeah, but they do that shit with her. They did that shit with her all the time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm more than happy to see this character exit. Like, Pablo's indecisive, and that's fine because he seems to be that way. But she's indecisive without ever acknowledging
because their character writing,
because they
inconsistent or more inconsistent than Pablo.
Yeah, so I am thrilled to see her exit stage left.
Fair enough. And then Evil Ash walks in and he gets into a brawl with Ash. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but Ash loses his mechanical hand in the fight. Real Ash.
I think it actually just rips it off.
Yeah. I didn't remember the exact setup. But yeah, so they are both dehanded with freshly bleeding stumps. And they get into a fight. And then Evil Ash scurries off. And then Pablo and Kelly finally fucking show up and burst in.
And they're wanting to, like, I'll tell you what, I will be so pissed off if they extend this whole, like, Ash, what did you do? I'm like, you guys know goddamn good and better than this.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
They better as hell better not.
I'm pretty sure they catch on pretty quick. And
that's good because they, especially Kelly, is smarter than this.
Oh, right, exactly. But yeah, so they bust in and Ash is trying to explain. He's like, I didn't do this. I mean, I did do this, but it wasn't me. There's another me. And they're just like, what the fuck? What do you mean? And then he runs off to find Evil Ash. And
they get into a really fun and great fight scene.
Like narratively, I don't know why Kelly and Pablo weren't right behind him.
Show up right behind him.
But it doesn't fucking matter because we have a really excellently shot, choreographed, and acted scene. Bruce Campbell acting off of himself as both versions of Ash.
And they are calling their shots. They know it. They know exactly
so
what the weak spots of Ash are.
Yeah, because real Ash, or evil Ash is like, I'm just like you in every way. And he goes, oh, every way? Then that means you got a trick knee. And he hits him in the knee and he falls down. Evil Ash goes, my trick knee.
Then he's like, how about your false teeth?
Yeah. And then they just keep beating on each other. And then real Ash is like, soft balls. And he just kicks him in the
we're like, well, it's not an Ash specific one. How many people have Ash met that have hard balls?
Right. Because a lot of the episode was fairly dramatic. Like,
yeah, but that one was just like...
Because the stuff with his ex-girlfriend's head, or, well, he keeps saying my ex-girlfriend, with Linda's head is like, it's not super emotional.
No, they play
it. It's played serious. It's played
they play it slightly disgusting when she's offering to give him a blowjob. But it's not. Yeah. It's not overtly funny.
Yeah, it's mostly like he's not laughing. He's like, "What the? Like this fucking sucks." And then the stuff with Ash and Amanda inside was played more as drama. Like their fight wasn't like a goofy fight, but in classic Ash versus Evil Dead fashion, the end of the episode has to be Ash fighting Ash with a bunch of goofy quips and fucking moments. And then it leaves off. It leaves off on like a cliffhanger.
Yes, it does.
With them fighting, yeah.
So with that out of the way, let's find out what our ratings are.
Boom.
Shop smart. Shop S-Mart.
And we're back.
All right. So, yeah. I didn't talk about the last episode. You and Tyler did, but I was sitting here watching it with you guys. And I understand the filler kind of, it wasn't a very good filler episode, like comparatively. Like I liked some of the action scenes and Deadite Lem was really good, but it was just
there was a lot of middling.
Yeah. So this was also a filler episode mostly, but like pretty damn good. I thought it was really great.
Yeah. So what out of a 5, what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it 4 Australians out of 5.
I think I'll too give it 4 barbecuers.
4 shrimp on the barbie.
No, it's sausages.
Sausages on the barbie. We're going to grill them.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I enjoyed this episode a lot more. It was so what keeps it from being a 5 is the fact that it's at the end of the day it's still a filler episode.
Sure. Yeah, it's like there were plot developments at the very end.
Literally the furthest development besides the death of Amanda. The furthest thing they were able to do in this episode was Ash got a crowbar out of a shed.
Right. Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of plot pushing for me to like rate this as a great episode, but there was a lot of good stuff in this.
Yeah.
The cabin looks great.
Yep.
The fight between Ash versus Ash was great. The fact that Amanda's no longer off the show automatically gave it 2 points for me. The fact that they did it in a brutal fashion gave it an extra half a star, and the fact that she pulled it off well. You know,
right? Yeah.
Farewell to bad rubbish, but you pulled that ending off very well, madam.
Right? Yeah. All in all, good episode.
I think so. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You can follow us on our social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram and other stuff at Cult Talk Net. We're on YouTube at Cult Talk Net. I'm still alone on Reddit at r/Cult Talk Net. Please give me company. You can find Cult of Campbell every Monday. You can find Cult Talk's weird shit every other Tuesday. So yeah, come check us out, guys. If you enjoyed this, I've been Ian.
I've been Ben, and come join us for our 13 days of Halloween.
Oh yes, 13 days of Halloween. We are going to be talking not just Bruce Campbell, not just weird shit. We're going to be talking all kinds of stuff. We're going to be debuting a new podcast. I won't spoil what it's about yet until we're ready to announce it. But if we've already announced it, it's out there. I'm talking about.
It's out there.
So,
but I don't believe we have.
I don't believe. Well, I don't know when this is going to air. So maybe by this time people already know about it, and we're just teasing something that people are like, yeah, we fucking know. But anyway, so we're debuting a new podcast. We're doing tons of weird shit. We're doing some Cult of Campbell. We're talking about just some horror movies that we love. Thanks, Shy. So anyway, I have been Ian.
I have been Ben.
And this has been Cult. Fuck. This
has been Cult of Campbell
versus Ash versus Evil Dead. And stay groovy.
Stay groovy, guys.
Never fuck with the king.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.